Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we have 5 shocking facts about O.J. Simpson, America's most famous killer who got away. Number 1. The double murder incident. On the 12th of June 1994, Nicole Brown Simpson, who was divorced from O.J. Simpson 2 years prior to this event happening, went home after dining and leaving her glasses at a restaurant called Mezzaluna, where Ron Goldman worked at as a waiter. Ron and Nicole had bumped into each other a few times previously and had supposedly become friends. People knew this because they were seen meeting for coffee and chatting a few times. But on the night of the 12th of June, after Nicole had left her glasses at the restaurant, Ron Goldman had headed over to her house to return them. But somewhere in between Ron arriving at Nicole's house and midnight that same very night, things turned very violent. Shortly after midnight, Nicole and Ron were found outside Nicole's home. Nicole had been stabbed 7 times in the neck and had a gash across her throat. It was so violent, one wound nearly decapitated her, plus she had defensive wounds on her hands, as it was thought she tried to fight the attacker off at the start. Ron was stabbed more than 15 times, including fatal wounds to his neck, chest, and abdomen. He also had several pokes in the face from a sharp object, possibly to see if he was still alive. Nicole and Ron were pronounced dead on the scene, and what happened next turned out to be America's most famous criminal trial in history. Number 2. The infamous glove. After the deaths of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown, and her friend Ron Goldman, 2 black gloves were recovered by police, and shortly after, it was indicated that they were the gloves used by the person who violently killed Nicole and Ron on the 12th of June, 1994. The left-hand glove was recovered outside of Nicole Brown's house, and the right-hand glove was found at O.J. Simpson's estate, showing signs of suspiciousness from the start. But that's not even the worst part. Blood was found on the gloves when they were inspected, but that wasn't the only place blood was found. O.J. Simpson's Ford Bronco and a pair of socks from his own bedroom were also found to have blood traces on them. What's more questionable is that blood was found on his driveway leading up to the house and actually inside his house as well. How obvious could it get at this point? The official outcome of the gloves being used as evidence is that he tried them on in court during his trial, and they didn't fit him. The famous quote used for this situation is, "If it doesn't fit, you must acquit." But let's not stop there because it was first thought that he had not taken his medication for his arthritis, which would have caused his hands to swell up and be bigger, which would mean the gloves wouldn't fit. But that was all cleared up quite quickly by a doctor who confirmed that O.J. had indeed taken all his medication up to date. Another concern that prosecutors raised was that once the gloves had been drenched in blood and sat outside in the freezing cold, the gloves could have shrunk, which is why it resulted in the gloves not fitting his hands.
The victim's blood in your Bronco.
Once again, we go back to the same thing. I hear about blood being in my Bronco. I'm told that there should have been a lot more blood in the Bronco if this was a victim's blood. It amazes me that experienced criminalists could look in this car, in this Bronco, looking for blood. This is the trial of the century, the case of all time. I mean, you heard the detectives talk about that from day one.
Number 3. The car chase that shocked the nation. Here's how the chase started. On the 17th of June, 1994, at 8:30 a.m., Robert Shapiro, one of O.J. Simpson's lawyers, receives a call from Los Angeles Police Department officials telling him to surrender his client. At 9:30 a.m., Shapiro goes to an undisclosed home in the San Fernando Valley and informs Simpson he will have to surrender by 11 a.m. Murder charges are filed against Simpson in the killings of his ex-wife and her friend. Arraignment is scheduled for the afternoon. At 11 a.m., O.J. Simpson is scheduled to surrender. Shortly after noon, according to Shapiro, the lawyer receives a call from LAPD officials telling him that police must announce that Simpson is a fugitive. Shapiro gives police directions to the San Fernando Valley house. Police arrive at the house. Shapiro, who is with Simpson's doctors and others in a room at the house, says Simpson and Cowlings, a former college and pro football teammate of Simpson's, had left the house. At 1:50 p.m., LAPD officer David Gascon announces that Simpson has not surrendered for arraignment as scheduled and is a fugitive. At 3 p.m., an LAPD officer at the condominium tells reporters, O.J. Simpson is not here. At a news conference, it was announced that anyone helping Simpson flee will be prosecuted as a felon. We will find Mr. Simpson and bring him to justice. Police are searching for Cowlings. Garcetti says prosecutors have not decided whether to seek the death penalty in the murder case. At 4:45 p.m., police issue an arrest warrant for Cowlings. At 5:51 p.m., Simpson reportedly makes a 911 call from a cell phone in Cowlings' Ford Bronco. His location is traced to the 5 freeway in Orange County near Lake Forest, where his ex-wife was buried. And here's how the chase ended. At 5:56 p.m., the California Highway Patrol begins pursuit. At 7:30 p.m., after moving onto the 91 freeway, the Bronco turns north on the 405 freeway in Torrance, soon encountering crowds standing on the roadway and overpasses. What we know is that O.J. Simpson was holding a gun to his head and threatening to kill himself while the police chase was in pursuit. This chase was all over live news and had thousands watching. At 7:57 p.m., Simpson and Cowlings arrive at Simpson's Brentwood home, and negotiations for surrender begin. At 8:47 p.m., police issue an all-clear after taking Simpson into custody. Number 4. The murder trial which resulted in a not guilty verdict. On the 24th of January 1995, the murder trial, dubbed the trial of the century by the media, began. Prosecutors argued O.J. Simpson had killed Nicole and Ron in a jealous rage, and they presented extensive blood, hair, and fiber tests linking him to the murders. O.J. Simpson's defense was that the celebrity defendant was framed by racist white police. Perhaps the defining moment of the trial came on a Thursday in June, when the prosecution committed what a defense lawyer would later describe as the greatest legal blunder of the 20th century. On this day, a prosecutor asked him to put on a pair of gloves believed to have been worn by the killer. The gloves appeared to be too small, as O.J. Simpson struggled to put on the gloves in a highly theatrical demonstration and indicated to the jury they did not fit. This led defense lawyer Johnny Cochran to famously state in his closing argument, "If it doesn't fit, you must acquit." On the 3rd of October 1995, the trial came to an end with 2 words, not guilty. Number 5. O.J. Simpson finally jailed, but not for murder. On the 16th of September 2007, O.J. Simpson was arrested, and after another trial, he faces life in jail after being found guilty of conspiracy to kidnap and armed robbery in Las Vegas. A jury of 9 women and 3 men unanimously found Simpson guilty of all 12 charges after more than 13 hours of deliberations, which began 13 years to the day after he was cleared of a double murder. The former American football star held 2 sports memorabilia dealers in a room at the Palace Station Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas before stealing items from them on September 13th last year. Here's what went down on the 13th of September 2007. It all started from Simpson becoming aware through memorabilia dealer Tom Riccio that a fellow dealer, Alfred Beardsley, owned a substantial amount of Simpson memorabilia, which the former Buffalo Bills player claimed were stolen from him. Simpson and Riccio then decided to confront Beardsley about the situation and conspired a plan to make it happen. Upon arrival, Simpson and his associates ordered that nobody in the room leave, with the incident described as a military invasion in court testimonials at the time. Simpson began questioning Beardsley about where the memorabilia came from, which resulted in Simpson's accomplice, Michael McClinton, brandishing a firearm, the Las Vegas Review-Journal reported. Simpson's group then stole pillowcases full of Simpson's memorabilia, along with various other valuable sports-related items. O.J. Simpson was found guilty of the robbery and received the stiffest sentence, which was 33 years in prison. Although it didn't take long before O.J. was released, and it happened on the 1st of October 2017, with him leaving prison having served 9 years out of 33. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. It is very much appreciated, and we will see you in the next one.